Why doesn't anybody know anything about Charlie Kirk's parents? I just saw a video about this, and it had literally never occurred to me that no one is talking about. We have not heard from or seen footage of anybody other than Erika and the freaking vice president and Usha anywhere involved in this.
You better sit down for this one, because Dave Chappelle just shook the entire internet with what he said about the Charlie Kirk shooting. He didn't just throw shade, he dropped bombs. Dave is flat out accusing the FBI of spreading fake info on purpose, saying the story they fed the public was nothing but a setup, a mind game to distract everyone from what's really going on. According to Dave, the Fed's so-called official report was designed to keep people confused while the truth gets buried. He said it's wild how no one's questioning why Charlie's own parents didn't show up to his memorial. Like, what's up with that? That silence, he says, isn't normal, and he's sideing everyone who keeps pretending not to notice. But Dave didn't stop there. Oh no, he went way deeper. He's allegedly saying that Charlie's parents have completely cut ties with Erika Kirk after discovering she might have been planted in his life as a honey trap. That claim alone had the internet losing its mind. And just when you think he's done, Dave hints that there's a full-scale government cover-up happening behind the scenes. Not just some messy scandal, but something organized, strategic, and dark. He's basically calling out the system, saying this whole thing runs way deeper than anyone.
You should all know this. If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country and this world. You have no idea. You have no idea the fire that you have.
Anyone dares to admit. This is getting wild. Dave didn't just stop at calling out the government. He straight up said the feds have muzzled Charlie's parents. Interview 130-156, he asserts that they have been legally silenced, prevented from speaking out or disclosing what they purport to know about Erika and her purported involvement in Charlie's untimely death. That weighs a lot. It's a mess. So fasten your seatbelt if you're just now learning about it. Everyone is currently looking down on the FBI due to the investigation into Charlie Kirk's shooting. Why? Because there are holes in the so-called official story that could fit a truck. The parts simply don't fit together, timings don't match, and the Bureau's statements are constantly shifting. People on the internet are stating that this looks too good to be true. Naturally, the internet went into full investigative mode. People began to run their own small-scale inquiries, gathering information, checking timestamps, and challenging everything. Many people think the FBI is blatantly concealing the name of the actual gunman and the true reason behind the crime. At that moment, Candace Owens barged in. People listen to her when she talks about this since she and Charlie were close. Candace refrained from tiptoeing. She attacked, accusing the FBI of disseminating blatant falsehoods. Their assertion that Tyler Robinson's father turned him in was one of their main points, which she totally disproved. That's pure nonsense, Candace remarked. That's cap, she said. She claims that Tyler was not at all turned in. A full-fledged sting operation was used to take him down. Interview 3:12-3:35 after federal officials raided the house he and his partner shared. She claims that the timing and video make it obvious that the narrative we were given is inconsistent. This case is becoming more and more disorganized. Do you recall that crazy FBI video? The one that depicts the alleged gunman physically leaping off a roof immediately after firing the shot and running like an athlete. Candace Owens turned that entire story on its head, baby, by showing up with receipts. She disclosed that Tyler Robinson's right leg was actually partially paralyzed. This means that, in her opinion, there is no physical way that a guy could have made that lightning-fast escape or rooftop leap. She stated it simply. The body they accuse doesn't fit the footage. Naturally, the internet did what it does well. They started excavating. Within hours, previous videos of Tyler began to circulate, limping, having trouble moving around, and even admitting that he still had problems with that same leg. People were taken aback. The more they observed, the more it appeared that Candace could be correct. Naturally, everyone began asking the question aloud. Why would the federal government frame a man who was physically incapable of moving in that manner? Was convenience the reason behind this? Or was someone attempting to wrap up the case too quickly? The murmurs became a full-fledged suspicion. But the drama didn't end there, since others began to stare at Erika Kirk. The internet went into full dissecting mode following her address, which she delivered a few days after Charlie's death. Music. She didn't really come across as a grieving widow, according to some. She appeared overly calm and professional. To be fair, though, some spoke up for her, reminding everyone that everyone experiences sorrow in a different way. Perhaps she was simply maintaining her strength in the manner that Charlie would have preferred. Nevertheless, that clip caused a lot of controversy, because everything seemed even more suspicious when you combined her composure with all the odd details that were already circulating. After that, things began to get out of hand, because there was no going back once the internet detected irregularities. Every timestamp, screenshot, and video was examined like a scene from a thriller about crime. And in the midst of it all, Erika Kirk's name kept coming up. People began to comment that her actions appeared deliberate rather than just composed. Her address following Charlie's death, according to some, sounded more like a press release than a bereaved wife's farewell. Even more unusual, some keen-eyed viewers saw something strange in the video's background. There was a man with what appeared to be a Turning Point security credential standing close to the rear of the stage, but nobody could, later on, identify him. Nothing lined up when users attempted to connect him with official staff images. Security had no record of employing him that day, according to insiders, and he wasn't listed on any of the event rosters. Theories blew up in an instant. Was he a plant, a private contractor, or something else? Then Candace revealed even more shocking information. She disclosed that days prior to the event, Charlie was purportedly told not to go by someone close to him. As stated by Turning Point itself sent the warning to her. The letter purportedly said, "The crowd isn't what you think." That one sentence raised red flags all around. Charlie's story serves as a reminder to all of us that while living free is the greatest gift, dying free is the greatest victory. As we celebrate Charlie's birthday today with this amazing Presidential Medal of Freedom, I stand here in tears and with a humbled heart and spirit. What was meant to be a straightforward conversation in suddenly, Utah appeared to have been planned under watchful rather than welcoming eyes. As if that weren't enough, Candace claimed to have received an internal Turning Point email mentioning possible problems with sponsor visibility at that particular location. An email purportedly authorized by Erika Kirk. Fans began making connections almost once, speculating that this might have been a well-planned occasion covered with corporate gloss rather than just a tragic accident. In the meantime, Dave Chappelle doubled down. Dave allegedly told an audience member that they always hide behind the suits during one of his unrecorded club gigs in Chicago. However, the suits chose the incorrect comic to tamper with this time. The quote became viral on the internet. Everyone saw that as his way of indicating that the media and FBI were being used by powerful individuals to conceal the truth, and that Erika might have been a part in a much larger scheme. However, when a video appeared, things took an even more sinister turn, demonstrating Erika's secret encounter with two unnamed guys within 48 hours of Charlie's passing. An onlooker at a posh hotel bar in Phoenix took this picture. Her body language seemed stiff, as if she was being told something she didn't want to hear, according to observers, even though the video doesn't show what was spoken. Thousands of people saved and re-uploaded the video before it was removed in a matter of hours due to a privacy violation. Some even asserted that one of those men was employed by a private intelligence company that had previously entered into a contract with the Homeland Security Department. When the receipts arrived, no one was prepared. A $350,000 wire transfer to an account in Erika's name was purportedly conducted less than 2 weeks prior to Charlie's shooting, according to financial data that were posted online. The sender is a Delaware-registered shell corporation with no employees on file. After that corporation collapsed 4 days after the transaction, internet sleuths went mad attempting to track it down. but their efforts came to a standstill. People started yelling loudly what other people were thinking. Was that money used for hush? Candace continued to fuel the flames with her own updates while all of this craziness was going on. Erika knows exactly who signed off on that event, and it wasn't Charlie, she revealed during one of her live feeds, sending shockwaves over social media. Turning Point's internal scheduling system screenshots started making the rounds, displaying several changes to the Utah event logistics, all of which were electronically signed by someone identified as Kirk. That only made matters worse by raising the possibility that Charlie was coerced into going against his better judgment. By then, there were a ton of theories on Telegram and Reddit. Some claimed that Erika was under pressure from superiors. Others said that because she knew too much, federal agents were protecting her. Some even claimed that Dave Chappelle's warning regarding the FBI's disinformation campaign was intended to conceal the true motivation. It was a silencing, not a random act. However, an unforeseen event later occurred. An unnamed former employee of Turning Point revealed that they were a member of Charlie's final event's logistical team. On the morning of the shooting, they claimed to have observed that the security layout had been altered. Hours before Charlie arrived, cameras were moved, entrances were blocked, and a new access code was input into the event's private system. Someone close to the top made the alterations according to that source. And you know whose name appeared once more? Erika's. Nevertheless, other admirers were adamant that she had nothing to do with it. They claimed that she appeared worn out, shattered, and possibly deceived by those far stronger than her. Some even suggested that Erika might be a scapegoat, similar to Tyler Robinson, and that Candace and Dave might be mistaken. They're making her a villain in order to, one person commented on X, cover their own tracks. Some people didn't believe it. They said that her rapid decision to limit comments on her social media accounts and her silence were blatant signs of guilt. Then the unexpected news conference took place. When Turning Point's official spokesperson finally spoke up, the situation worsened rather than improved. The spokeswoman responded to a question regarding Erika's purported involvement by saying, "Erika Kirk remains a valuable part of our community, and we won't be discussing further out of respect for the ongoing investigation." That valued part line set people off. The comment section erupted with accusations of a cover-up, and even mainstream reporters started demanding answers. In the meantime, fans interpreted Dave Chappelle's cryptic statement on his personal social media account. Truth don't need a spotlight. It glows on its own, as a signal that he had additional details he wasn't prepared to share, not yet ready to share. Some said he's working on a documentary on the case, while others said he's waiting for a crucial witness to come forward. Whatever it is, his remarks continue to create friction. Additionally, cameras follow him around like he's carrying state secrets whenever he is seen in public. The internet is currently completely divided. While half believe Erika is being unfairly dragged through the mud, the other half are certain that she is the key to the entire mystery. And one eerie detail keeps coming up throughout it all. Charlie's parents haven't spoken a word. There were no remarks, interviews, or even public acknowledgement, just silence. Everyone is captivated by that quiet, because there is something far more significant being concealed here if Dave's allegations regarding the gag order are accurate, something that might completely upend the conservative world. Until then, the hypotheses, the whispers and hints continue to circulate. There's no doubt about it. This is far from the end of the story. Additionally, half of the internet, Dave Chappelle and Candace Owens, are delving deeper. The truth about someone is going to be revealed. And it will blow everything apart when it does. Once more, Erika Kirk made headlines. And it wasn't for remaining silent this time. It was due to her appearance at Charlie's memorial. People started whispering as soon as she took the platform. She didn't move like a widow in mourning. She moved as if she were entering a spotlight. The cameras flashed. There was background music playing quietly. Additionally, the entire event had the feel of a concert entrance rather than a somber homage. Online users were quick to comment that it seemed strange, as if she was acting rather than grieving. However, that wasn't even the night's most memorable moment. It was an embrace. The cameras went crazy when Erika moved forward and embraced President Trump. The video, which went viral, showed the two appearing shockingly at ease, possibly a bit too at ease, according to observers. Their body language, grins, and embrace. People kept playing it over and over. It turned to become the talk of the internet in a matter of minutes. It was innocent, according to some. It felt staged, according to some. In any case, it was like fireworks on social media. And just as everyone was beginning to move on from the Charlie shooting scandal, Dave Chappelle suddenly entered the fray. Suddenly, he began to talk. And the entire internet community was rocked by what he stated. Several insiders claim that Dave openly criticized the FBI, accusing them of disseminating misleading information to sway the public's opinion of the case. He asserted that the entire situation was a smoke-o-key screen, a diversion to prevent people from posing genuinely awkward questions. Dave made it apparent that too many important questions were being overlooked while people were conducting their own research online. Everyone knew Dave meant business when he said, "That's not by accident." Of all the mysteries, he raised the most unsettling one. Why did Charlie's parents not attend his funeral? Fans were going crazy over that one detail. Charlie's strong relationship with his family was one of his most well-known traits. He frequently discussed them, gave them credit for his work ethic, and even mentioned them in speeches. Therefore, it didn't make sense for them to be absent from the most important event held in his honor. Dave claims that just that one information ought to have prompted inquiries from every reporter, investigator, and enthusiast. Dave wasn't finished, though. Not even close, I guess. He continued by dropping what he referred to as the authentic tea. He said that things between Erika and Charlie's family blew up when Charlie passed away. He claimed that they had a total falling out. The family allegedly learned stuff they weren't expected to be aware. He claims that Erika did not even extend an invitation for them to attend the memorial. Just picture that. You are not allowed to attend your son's funeral. People were in disbelief. Dave claims that Erika and his parents were already at odds before Charlie even died. According to rumors, the family was worried about Erika's increasing power, the way she oversaw his schedule, the activities she approved of, and even the people she surrounded him with. However, that friction escalated into full-fledged hostility following Charlie's passing. Additionally, Dave claims that the federal government played a significant role in the memorial's actual planning, which makes matters much more complicated. This implies that Erika may have needed assistance in determining who was invited and who was not. He asserted that she was in charge of the guest list and that some names were purposefully omitted. Charlie's own family allegedly didn't make the cut, which has the media is going crazy. Then the Trump moment reappeared. People observed that Charlie's parents were not present when President Trump awarded Erika the Presidential Medal of Freedom in Charlie's honor. They reportedly didn't sit together and arrived separately. Fans couldn't help but notice how chilly it appeared. The space between them didn't appear to be grief, according to body language specialists who also jumped in. It appeared to bitterness. A fresh round of conjecture was triggered by that scene. The absence of the family was described by some as distressing. They simply couldn't bear to be there. Others, however, refused. There was more going on here. When Dave stated on stage that Charlie's family thinks Erika was a honeypot, a planted figure intended to manipulate him and mold his public persona, he added gasoline to the flames. Dave's purported sources claim that the family allegedly discovered evidence, or at the very least compelling indications, that Erika wasn't just a helpful wife. They believe that those who wished to control Charlie's political message and stifle his independence purposefully put her in his life. Following that assertion, fans lost it. Dave was being careless, according to some. Others claimed that he was speaking out loud what everyone had been murmuring for months, something that no one else had the guts to do. However, one thing was evident. His charges struck a nerve. Because the more he spoke, the more people began to make connections between previously seemingly incompatible ideas. The internet is certain that this story is not over because of the missing parents, the enigmatic hug, the controlled narrative, and the rumors of government involvement. The biggest issue in conservative circles since Charlie Kirk's name first appeared in those headlines may have just been rekindled by Dave Chappelle. Dave claims that when the authorities are behind, everything quickly changed when the curtain noticed Charlie was beginning to stray from their control. He says they fired Charlie and installed Erika as Turning Point America's new CEO virtually overnight, as soon as they realized he wasn't following their guidelines. More than just eyebrows were raised by the abrupt change. It brought up important issues regarding who was actually in charge, but Dave didn't stop there. So that's not even the most outrageous part. He now claims that a vast effort of suppression is taking on at the highest levels. An intense attempt to keep Charlie's parents quiet. Dave claims that after allegedly discovering shocking details regarding how Erika was inserted into Charlie's life from the beginning, they have been legally barred from speaking out. He says they discovered proof that she supposedly knew what was going to happen, had ties to foreign intelligence, and was able to seize power immediately after his death. As ridiculous as all of this may sound, let's face it, people are raising their eyebrows because of the time. Only a few weeks after his passing, Erika took over as CEO. There was a seamless, quiet transition. No board statement, no public discussion. According to reports, even the staff members who had collaborated with Charlie for years were taken aback. Now, the bit about the family being suppressed really resonates with what has been going on. Charlie's parents and siblings have not been seen at all since the shooting. Not a single public comment, no social media posts, no TV appearances. They seemed to disappear as Erika continued to be the focus of every camera and headline. Even if the entire honeypot notion seems like something from a political thriller, it's difficult to ignore how Erika's actions continue to support it. She is flawlessly collected, polished, and poised each time she appears on TV. Never shaken, never emotional. People couldn't get rid of the impression that she appeared more like a spokesman than a bereaved widow after watching her post-shooting speech and seeing her at the memorial. Even worse, Erika didn't take a vacation following Charlie's death. She immediately went back to work, picking up the Charlie Kirk podcast as if nothing had occurred. It was dubbed cold by fans. Critics referred to it as calculated in Dave. According to him, it was the largest warning sign in the entire case. With all of these allegations, many are beginning to question if Erika was truly grieving or if she was carrying out a plan that had been established long before Charlie passed away. In any case, one thing is certain. The internet is unable to look away after Dave Chappelle extended this topic into even darker, more profound waters. Once again, Erika Kirk was making waves on the internet, and not in a good way. There were a lot of comments, numerous people pointing out how odd her actions still seem. I always feel like Erika's tears are fake. It's all for the cameras, someone commented. She used to run that homeless service before Charlie. Total political move. Typical liberal vibe. The post that went viral claimed that Erika had forgiven the man who was allegedly responsible for her husband's injuries before his body had even cooled. That's not typical. Even those who acknowledged that they weren't Charlie's biggest admirers expressed their disgust at his parents' total exclusion from his life, stating, "I wasn't really a fan of Charlie, but it breaks my heart seeing his parents' love get drowned out by Erika's spotlight moments." Others agreed, adding, "It just doesn't make sense. Charlie was known to be close to his family, yet we haven't seen them once by Erika's side since this all began." Maybe she's just coping differently, one viewer commented. Erika's grieving, and it's probably painful to stand in front of cameras every day. I hope she and Charlie's family find peace. But even with those sympathetic voices, the overwhelming vibe online is that something just feels off. This is now the major question that everyone is debating. Do you think Erika purposefully kept Charlie's family out of the media and hushed them? Or do you think they just made the independent decision to back off and let her steal the show? Because the scenario still doesn't sit well, regardless of how you view it. Leave a comment with your ideas. This story is becoming deeper every day, so please hit the like, subscribe, share, and turn on the notifications buttons. You won't want to, I promise. Miss what's about to happen.